You're listening to the Game Maker University. Hello, this is Zargy Z-Cat from Zargy Studios with the Game Maker University. This is the first episode of the Game Maker University podcast or newscast or whatever you want to call it. Today I am joined by game developer Nick Knack and guest professor. Today we're going to talk about a variety of topics in the news with Game Maker and a couple of games and maybe some Minecraft stuff as well. So just sit back, listen, and enjoy. Say hi, Nick Knack.
Hello.
There he is. Okay, so let's just jump right into the topics. The first, and these are taken from Game Maker blog, by the way. Pretty much really the best news source for Game Maker news I've found. Even though it's a bit, sometimes it doesn't post as much because there's not as much happening. It's still pretty good at posting information. So the first, we're just going to go through a list here. The main topic will be the Piracy Skull Icon debate Skullgate debate, I guess we should call it, that happened like in November, I think it was. And that was a bit of a while ago, but I think both of us will probably want to talk about it and what happened with that. But let's take it from the top. The first one is the Yo-Yo Game Steam competition. The third one has finally finished. There were 3 announced for October, November, and December. And there were, it was basically one developer per month would win with their game. It was only 18 and over, which was, I felt was kind of like, how did you feel about that?
Well, I really wasn't in on any of the competitions. I haven't focused a lot in the recent weeks on the Game Maker news. But had I been in, before the competition, been looking out for it, then I probably would have been pretty frustrated because I would have liked to enter.
I mean, I'm looking at the announcement here. They have lots of rules, and I think that's it's because I'm going to talk about this more later. It's because of the way that they've been trying to make Game Maker Studio into a tool for more professional developers. So they didn't want kids just making low-effort games and clogging up everything and making it seem like there were lots of kids using it. So that's one angle. But another is because when you do this with kids, and this is officially with Steam, so when you do this with underage or minors, you could get into some legal issues there. So I think that might be why they decided to do that.
Another issue could have been that it cost, and the prize was going to be $1,000 in the end. And if it was, some kid, didn't talk to their parents about it, and then like, hey, I won this competition, and these people that their parents know nothing about, like, yeah, we're not going to give them bank account information to pay us money,
Yeah,
people could be suspicious, So
I remember the previous Yo-Yo Games competitions that have happened previously. You could enter if you were under 18, but you're the one who had to provide PayPal information. And there's also more like it is a I can see why they did that, because I mean lawyers probably would have jumped on that one, and especially since this was a bit more bigger because of Steam. I think that's probably why they did that. But in any case, speaking of Case, Anthony Case has won the third one.
Nice segue.
With his game Call of the Wild, which we attempted to play a bit of. Unfortunately, both of us ran into issues, not technically with the game, but just issues.
Well, with mine, it was having no talent at all. But yeah,
I mean, but from what I played with it, the first few minutes, it looked kind of well done, and we'll talk about that later. It's definitely not fully finished, but it looked like it was well done. I can see why it won.
Yeah, it looked excellent, I thought, so thus far into it.
Yeah. Okay, so our next topic is the executable creation has returned to Game Maker Studio. I've honestly been waiting for this quite a while, and I was not very happy that it wasn't originally included. But I mean, what are your thoughts on this?
it was just kind of an annoyance, honestly, because why would they take it out is the thing, you know? Because
Yeah.
I don't like, personally, what I wanted to do when I'm working on a game, and what I've done throughout all the time I've been working with Game Maker, is I'm like, oh, I want to let some of my friends try this out. So
Yeah.
I would upload it to my web server, and I would post a link on Twitter. Or rarely on Facebook, because I don't really use Facebook. But occasionally I would do things like that. And then
Mhm.
having the whole installation every time someone wanted to try out my game,
Yeah,
it's
well,
just
you
annoying.
can do it as a zip. You could do it as a zip. It's just now it's just all packed into one exe like it was originally with versions previous for Studio. It is very good, and I do like this change. What was also announced earlier in 2012 was GameMaker Studio now supports increase decrease operators.
Yes.
And
This was needed.
I honestly, I haven't. It's something that I've been used to not having to use. I mean, it is a very good feature that actually does save time.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I'm happy that it's added. It's just I haven't. I'm not really used to using them, but it is good. I do like this.
I really like it because I do stuff for my work. Most of my stuff is PHP. And I use those all the time. And then I do not a lot, but I use some C++ stuff. And it's so aggravating not being able to, not that it's not there, it's just that I just kind of get, they're all C-based languages. And so not being able to, I just get used to using that to add and subtract, and then not being able to have that in one of the languages, it's just a little thing. It's kind of annoying. It's not a huge deal, but it was just kind of annoying because I had to remember, like, oh, can't do that. I'm in Game Maker.
Yeah, it is a very good feature they've added.
Yeah.
Next up is Yo-Yo Games and Microsoft team up with Windows Store to create the Microsoft Ultimate Experience contest. Is it a contest? I'm not sure. It's a competition, I guess. Basically, and I'm reading from the site right now, you can publish your app to the Windows Store and or Windows Phone Store between now and February 28, 2013 to qualify for the following rewards. Okay, every entrant receives a store registration reimbursement and a free copy of Halo 4 for Xbox 360.
Ooh.
A chance to win one of 12 Xbox 360 consoles with Kinect. The more apps you enter, the more chances you'll have to win.
What?
The grand prize, 3 devs with the best apps will win an ultimate backstage pass to the Microsoft Studios and spend the day with the Windows 8 Game Studios team, makers of Windows 8, Windows Phone 8, and Xbox-enabled games.
It's amazing.
Additional benefit for Yo-Yo Games customers, 5 apps will be chosen by Microsoft and Yo-Yo Games to be highlighted on the Hot Apps Cool Dev site. So it's just a contest between Yo-Yo Games and Microsoft. It's just the prizes are done by Microsoft, and it's the Windows Store instead of Yo-Yo Games.
Yeah.
It seems, I mean, with the addition of Windows 8 and Windows Phone 8 to a Game Maker Studio, I mean, it's I guess they did this kind of thing will probably it'll probably work.
And they probably wanted to give people like a little incentive, like since they added it, kind of give people a little incentive, like, hey, you guys should make you guys should make your apps for Windows Phone 8, and stuff. So they probably want to give people a little incentive. However,
well, I mean, they
kinda,
have to. I mean, with
this
the
has
way,
the same restrictions as the previous competition, and you need to be over 18.
I mean, they kind of have to with the way Windows I don't know.
With how much people hate Windows phones?
Yeah, with the way it sucks.
Yeah,
I guess I should
I know.
say. They kind of had to offer a free Halo 4 and free Xboxes.
Notice they weren't offering you a free Windows phone because even they know their phone sucks. So they're offering you a free Xbox.
Yes. Okay, so let me see. Okay, the next, I'm just going to leave our main topic for the last.
Right.
The next one is the free indie bundle, and this is pretty much amazing. It's basically, if you try the Humble bundle, it's basically that, except it's games they found on online for free. Essentially, free downloadable games. And the first bundle included, and quite a few of these are Game Maker games. The first bundle included Nitronic Rush, Ascension, Celestial Mechanica, I'm Scared, which is some kind of horror thing, and Abobo's Big Adventure, which looks interesting. And every week they give a new set of 5 free games. And this week they're offering Under the Garden, Zenith, Blitzmeat, A Nation of Wind, and Mad Father, which I've tried Under the Garden and A Nation of Wind, which one of those is Game Maker and the other is I don't know what. Under the Garden is a bit notable in the indie crowd. And it's the next bundle is set to premiere in 6 hours, actually, from recording. So by the time this is up, you guys will probably know what the third one is. So go to thefreebundle.com to find awesome free indie games.
And they also are asked down in the FAQ, if you know of any free games, go ahead and send it to them.
Yeah.
Over. So if you got a free game, or maybe it's even your game, you can go send them it so they can release it free, and you can kind of support this project. That's pretty cool.
And this is done by the Cabrera brothers, I guess. Let's see, and they've done, what have they done?
It looks like they make games.
Yeah, they make games.
Sushi City, Neo Sushi City.
Cypher is what they are making now, it appears, and their website has lots of stuff on it about that.
It's a text adventure. Ooh. I like text adventures, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that old program that we used to use where you type out a story? It was the 7th version of it, I remember.
Inform?
Inform. That was fun.
I haven't looked back at that. I probably should check that out sometime. So, didn't want to do that. No. Put that back in. Okay, so yes. And the new the newest news we have, the newest news that is actually new is the Game Maker affiliate program has been discontinued. It was something run by the original owner of Game Maker blog, I believe, and it
I actually used it for a little while. Basically what it was a advertising program where you put an ad on your site, you make a small little banner, and you put some ads on your site. Every view you got, someone else would get it in return. So every time someone viewed the ads on your site, then your ad would get to show up on other people's sites.
Ah, okay, that sounds pretty cool. Philip Gamble was the original owner of Game Maker blog. When he handed it over or sold to, I don't know if he sold it to True Valhalla, who is the creator of Making Money with HTML5, the ebook, which I have yet to look at. Let's see, what else has he done? He's made
several games that most of you, I'm sure, have heard of.
Yeah.
He's working on a giant MMO right now. I just lost the name of it. It's Myriad Online. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
It's Myriad Online.
Yeah, I think so.
And he runs several blogs. So
yes. So he who now owns Game Maker blog has decided to discontinue the affiliate program. He says, "I am unable to improve or maintain the service for longer, and nor do I wish to if it poses a risk to the site as a whole." So that's essentially gone because he essentially can't keep it up now, and that's fine, I guess. I mean, I never really used it, I saw ads for it. I never really looked into it though.
I actually have them on my really ancient site still.
Do you?
Pretty awesome thing, I thought. It was a cool idea, but it was hard for him to keep the spam off. So
okay, and well, yeah. I mean, I probably would have used it if I'd gotten into actually making a website, which I don't yet. But it looked like it was a good service, and I guess quite a few people might be sad to see it go. So
yeah, farewell,
Game Maker affiliate program. And now we move on to our main topic for today, which is the I guess I should call it the Piracy Skull Icon Gate debate, which happened in November. So, just reading from the Game Maker blog, a recent update to Game Maker Studio has left many developers confused and frustrated after an anti-piracy system went haywire. Those who use a legally obtained version of Studio have had game resources such as sprites overlaid with an image of a skull and crossbones. The resources are permanently edited, rendered useless. Mike Daly urged people to not assume those experiencing the issue were using pirated copies. He also speculated that the new Delta updater could be the cause of the problem. Although staff have encouraged users to run virus scans on their computers to ensure the program was not tampered with, Reports of the issue have become more widespread, suggesting it is an official bug and not an anomaly. No official fix has been released. However, some have managed to fix the problem by uninstalling GameMaker and deleting folders in app data and local data. The solution can be found here. People who have recently updated Studio should make immediate backup copies of their projects. And then there's an update. The issue has since been fixed in a recent patch. So it was fixed. And I actually this did not personally affect me, but I did look at some of what people were saying and what was happening around it. And I'd like to hear some of what you have to say on the issue first before I speak my point.
I think this is absolutely absurd. For one thing, it's just one thing that the bug happened in the first place, which is annoying. But really, I'm not really annoyed that the bug happened. I'm annoyed that they're doing things like this anti-piracy thing that basically ruins your game.
Yeah.
It ruins all your graphics in it. And I like one of the top comment on the blog is by Dan. I'm forgetting his last name now, but used to be a friend of mine on Nation of Design. Anyways, he says, why does GameMaker even have this counter-piracy measure built in? If something goes wrong, which it has, it's very bad for people who've actually played. If GameMaker can detect a pirate copy, why doesn't it just limit to light features instead of the person who can confirm who got it legitimately? Which I totally agree. If it, obviously it's detecting that they have a pirated copy, well, it's failing at it, but it's trying to. If they can do that, then they can just revert it to light just as easily. So I think it's absolutely absurd and annoying that they're doing this to people, regardless of, even if it was just a mistake. I don't like that they're having this even built into the program.
Yeah.
And I imagine GameMaker has more of the open program, which I understand they want to be able to make money off their product and they don't feel pirating it. But I still think it's annoying that we have these anti-piracy measures built in for people that have legitimately brought the product like you and I.
Yeah, and let me see. Let me see if I can find Mike Daly's. I think it wasn't this that angered me so much as Mike Daly's response to this, and he essentially what he says is that he won't I mean, the response was basically like, oh no, we will never do this again, we're so sorry, but this is what's needed to combat the piracy. And I don't agree with piracy, I'm just making that clear, but this in general, I think this attitude towards piracy that has become common in the game developer community. I mean, one of the most common examples, and if it's in an actual game, I'm okay with it. Like in a Batman Arkham City or maybe Asylum, I think it's in City. Basically, if you don't have a legitimate copy of the game, you can't fly Batman. Let me collect my thoughts. I've seen examples of this in other games, and sort of like, oh, you're gonna pirate the game? Well, here you go, but you won't be able to play it well. And that's okay for a game, but this is a piece of software where people are actually making making content, they are making games, and B, I thought Studio was supposed to make stuff more professional, market it towards more professional developers. I mean, that's why they put the $300, $300 price tag on it, didn't they? And put it, I mean, that's my view. And the fact that, I mean, he says, they say, oh, we'll never do this again. Well, how do we know? How can we trust that this kind of thing won't happen again?
Well, yeah, because obviously they didn't mean to do it the first time.
Yes, and I mean, anytime you do something that just basically, if you have something like this, a piece of software, and this is GameMaker Studio, not just GM 8.1, this is Studio, and they're marketing this towards people who want to make money with it, who want to make money with this piece of software, and the fact that they would even think about putting something like this in that permanently destroys your resources in your game. I mean, I saw one person who was extremely mad on the GameMaker community forums. He had lost he had lost resources in a commercial game he was making, and he was very upset by it.
I would be as well. I'd be furious.
Yeah, I would. And I mean, it speaks to some part of immaturity on the part of the developer. And I'm not saying anything about anyone in Yo-Yo Games specifically, but this kind of thing, I mean, it's one thing in a game where you're not really technically losing anything. And I haven't really heard of anyone, if this happening to anyone in a game that they actually purchased legitimately. But I mean, GameMaker has been really plagued by DRM issues for a long time.
Oh, you mean you didn't love soft wrap?
I personally never actually had any problems with soft wrap, but I know lots of people did.
I had one instance because I had installed it more than 3 times, and then I sent them an email, and they're like, "We added 3 more installs to your account," and they're like, "Oh, that was easy." I was expecting it to be horrible. How much people hated them. You know?
I did have a problem on an older computer where it refused to, GameMaker refused to stay authorized whenever the computer got reset. But other than that, I haven't really had any major DRM problems. And this, I wasn't really, at the time of this thing happening, I wasn't really using GameMaker that much. I wasn't really using it, so I didn't really have any problems happen. But I definitely could see it just speaks to, as I said, it speaks to part of immaturity on the developers. I mean, that they would do this kind of thing that could easily, very easily. I mean, I'm someone who works with code. I know that stuff like this is just bad. You just don't do this kind of thing, especially when people could lose actual money or whether resources that cost them money. I mean, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad they patched it pretty quickly, it seems.
And I'm not sure if the patch actually fixed all the resources that they damaged or not.
Well, it couldn't. It permanently pretty much overwrote the resources.
That's what I would imagine, yeah.
I mean, but at least they did a patch so that particular issue won't happen again. But I mean, it's just really not a good thing to do this. And I would personally never even consider doing this kind of thing. And in a professional environment, I haven't actually worked in a professional environment with code yet. But I mean, in a professional environment, I would just run.
Yeah.
This kind of stuff is bad news.
I agree very much. I don't even understand, I don't want to get into piracy too much, but the bottom line is people are going to pirate your software no matter what. The best DRM out there was the new one that came out with Assassin's Creed 2. Best DRM out there. It took 3 weeks for a cracked version of that game to get out there. That was it. People are going to crack your product no matter what.
It's going to get cracked no matter what, and it's going to keep getting cracked no matter what you do. Eventually, eventually it's going to get cracked. There's no way. I don't know how much money Yo-Yo Games could say they've actually lost from piracy. I can't really speak to that. I mean, I'm not really going to talk about that kind of thing, but I mean, it's I can understand if someone had done that. I can kind of understand why someone would have decided to do that, although of course I don't agree with the decision.
Yeah.
But it's all water under the bridge now because it's past and done. But even so, it just, honestly, I'd have to say, and this is not talking about any particular person, but I don't think that Yo-Yo Games has exactly done the best they could have with GameMaker over the years they've owned it. Yeah, and that's just my view, and I think a lot of people share that view, but I don't know. I mean, the whole price issue with GameMaker Studio, I mean, the reason, I'll just say this, the reason I got into GameMaker as a kid was because it was cheap. And it didn't feel like something that was a professional piece of software. It didn't feel like it. It didn't, I mean, when installing it, it didn't feel like it. It just felt like a cool piece of software.
Kid-friendly.
Yeah, kid-friendly. And it's still, for the most part, it's still mostly kid-friendly as a design-wise. But as I mean, I got it half off for $50, the professional version. Because they had the sale running for previous members of GM.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we've kind of exhausted that, really. And we can talk more about it later, maybe. But I think we should move into, take a bit of a break and move into the games section, which will probably take less time.
Yeah.
But so I'm going to go ahead and just pause the recording. We can take a little bit of a break. Hello, and we are back. This is Zargi with Knickknack, and now we are going to be talking about the games we have for today. We have 2 games for today. First, we have the Call of the Wild, which is the game, as previously said, is the game that won the Yo-Yo Games Steam competition. So, neither of us have really played it that much, but how far did you get, Knickknack?
I got 2 minutes into the game probably, and then I hit escape several times whenever I got to that point. I was trying to figure out how to cut down a tree, and I couldn't really figure it out because I'm not that good.
Yeah, it's the control scheme is a bit hard to get used to, I find. Basically it's a side-scrolling kind of adventure game. Keyboard operated. It seems like it's pretty good, and from playing it for just a bit, I actually like it quite a bit.
It's pretty.
Yeah, it is pretty. The graphics are well designed.
Mm-hmm.
Most Game Maker games, to be fair, do exit out with the escape key. Lots of them do.
Yeah.
It's just we didn't really play that much of it, so I'm not sure if we're really qualified to give a full talk about it. So let me read from the store page. It says it has 5 main areas to explore, 8 minor areas, and includes 52 items, 24 of which must be crafted. So it's still a work in progress, or it's not 100% finished, rather, but it has quite a bit of content, it seems, into it.
Yeah, it does look really good, so far at least. I'm going to have to get in play some more of it now.
Mm-hmm. But the next game, which I think we can probably talk a bit more about, is Overclocked Arena. Before you say anything, I have to say I absolutely love this game. This is one of the best games with Game Maker that I think I've played recently. Now, I know you probably haven't played it as much as I have, but it's basically a arcade arena-style shooter. It's quite fun. Let's see. I think
extremely well done.
Yes, extremely well done. It looks very nice. It's cartoonish or cel-shaded graphics, and they're done very well. It looks like the developer actually put a whole bunch of work into this.
This is by far the best 3D I've ever seen done in Game Maker.
Yeah, it is. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe I might have seen something that looked a bit better than this, but this is the best 3D I've seen in a while. And it's very good. It's by Robert 3DG. I'm not sure if that's someone I know who that is, but
does not ring a bell to me.
Yeah, me neither. It looks very good.
It kind of throws you in an arena and you fight waves and waves of robots over and over again. Is basically how the gameplay works.
Yeah,
you have different guns.
You have different guns. There's ammo drops on each 4 corners that you shoot to pick up ammo, and as far as I know, it does loop. Once you get to a certain wave, it just starts back at the beginning, but it just loops over and over again. But I can see why it did that. I mean, designing different enemies, designing lots of different enemies is hard, and I can see why they did that. But it's pretty good. I like it.
I like it pretty well too. It's well done.
Yeah. So I guess that's pretty much. Go check it out, Overclocked Arena and Call of the Wild on the Steam Workshop. If you don't have Game Maker, you can just download it for free on Steam to play these games.
Alrighty.
I think that's all we have. Is there anything else that you think we should discuss?
I think that's it. Pretty much it.
Yeah, that seems it. So, what I want first, I want you to, if you'd like, subscribe to Game Maker University. I put tutorials up there periodically dealing with Game Maker. I try to make them at least mostly concise. The next one's probably going to be a bit better, I hope. And also, my channel, Zargi Studios, where I put game Let's Plays up. And then, Knick-Knack, what do you have to plug?
You can go ahead and check out my channel. It's The Indie MG. That's THEINDIE, the letter M, the letter G. And you can get there, check out I do daily game commentaries. Lots of Minecraft, but right now I'm running some Portal 2 and a bunch of other stuff. So you can check that out.
Yeah, check it out. Check him out. He's pretty cool. And anything else?
I don't think I have anything else to plug.
Okay. Well, this has been the Game Maker University podcast, first episode. If you listen to this podcast, please go to my channel, or I'm not sure where this will be posted. Maybe it'll be posted on my channel, but please, in any case, leave a comment where you can. Send me a message on YouTube, or leave a comment on my channel. Tell me what you thought of the show. Thank you very much for listening. This has been Zargi.
And Nick.
And we will see you next time.